Much of our African songs, we play and we sing with emotions. It's about letting emotions connect. Like now, I've just come from teaching African dance. They barely understand any of that language, but we tell them, listen to the rhythm. In the arts, it's the connection of the movement, the connection of the nonverbal language that keeps us together. I woke up from the marital slumber, beaten, abused, and cheated on.
A very good morning to you. My name is Catherine Mwangi. Welcome to Books and Blogs on Life and Style. We are filming here at 4 Points by Sheraton, located in Hurlingham. We continue the conversation today. Oops, Zippy. Last week we saw how Zippy could just not leave that relationship. Will she eventually leave Ricky? And my panel remains the same. Dr. Zippy herself, the author of the book. Doreen, who's been through a terrible relationship, but luckily she dated and left. And Chetna, who's been married 35 years and counting. Her parents been married, what, 60 years?
65 years.
65 years. What do you know? So we continue the conversation. Zipporah, why were you not leaving this relationship? Like, what needed to happen for you to leave?
What intervention, perhaps?
I ran for my life. I ran for my children. I was now an outcast, depressed, and stigmatized. And I told him, the child we buried at your home is yours. The one I have is mine. It is over. But then when I said those words, I didn't even know. I think that is what we call temporary insanity. I don't even know what came over me, but the strength I started having from that very moment, I do not understand. But then later, I think when they keep abusing us, you're a prostitute, it's because they are. Because they're the ones who are doing it. So they want to keep thinking that everybody else is doing the same. So nowadays, when somebody abuses you, you're like, okay, why? Why are you abusing me like that? Yes. But then I stopped getting hurt with it, and I said, Zippy, I know I'm not. I know in my family there isn't something like that. And I know it's not in me, because I always say, I always say, from the moment I started dating Ricky, I never cheated. Not even up to the moment I left, up to the time my divorce was declared in court. Because I said, there's no day he's going to come in court and say, I cheated before the marriage is declared. What if something happens in the middle before it is declared? So I didn't. And so whenever anyone says that word prostitute, I'm like, I am not.
Yes.
Yes.
You know yourself.
Yes.
You know the truth.
Exactly.
You know, when you are true from your heart, when you are clear from your heart, you can come up and speak up for yourself. But if you yourself is guilty, if you have done something wrong, it will be difficult for you to talk about. So that's what I think Zippy has done, because she was so clear, so true from her heart, and that's what you did for yourself.
And actually, when people say that I wrote this book, they're like, you said too much. Why are you saying all this? Because first I did a play about it.
It's actually a play.
Yes,
It's a
one-woman play.
Phenomenal.
And so first it was that thing of like, do I get somebody else to act it out? And whoever I thought about of acting it, I met them without telling them I want you to act on this play. And I discussed, and I felt they were in a totally different world. And I thought,
You do it
I
yourself.
will do it.
It's your story anyway.
And I acted the one-woman play last year, part 1 and part 2. And it's because of that feeling of, I am telling the truth. And people keep telling me, what is Ricky's side? Maybe we need to hear from him. I tell them, I mean, that's his story. You can look for him. If I go and write Ricky's side, you still say, that's my opinion of Ricky.
Yes.
So go and talk to Ricky to tell his side. But this is
your
my honest
story.
side. Yes.
I love it. I love it. Chetna, why do you think women stay?
Women?
Stay in this type of relationship, in broken relationship?
They should not actually. They should not.
So why
stay
do they?
if they are not happy? But as Zippy has mentioned, fear is one of the things. Financial independence is the second thing. If you are financially independent, you would take that step very fast. You don't have to worry, who will pay my rent, my day-to-day or whatever. The third thing, children. If you already have your kids, yes, that's it's difficult.
Yeah.
And a single woman, single mother, to sustain in this world, it's not easy. So maybe those
And
are the
religion.
factors. And religion.
Let's talk about religion.
Religion, yes. You'll be surprised, in our olden time, there was a polygamy, what you're talking, multiple wives or many wives. The kings, they used to have several queens.
Yes, and concubines as well.
Correct,
Yes.
yes. But they all knew about it.
Yes.
There was a different houses, palaces for different queens.
Yes.
So they were happy that this is one of the queens,
And
second
status.
queen. Status.
So the
correct.
mother queen is the queen.
Right.
The others would respect her.
Correct.
Yes.
So one of our god, which is called Krishna, it's a very common god, everyone knows about it. He had 16,000 wives.
Wow.
16,000 wives. So we call, but still, as you're mentioning, they had a status. This was like a patrani, means the main wife, and the second, and the third, and the fourth, things like that. So there were multiple partners they had, but they were all aware about it.
Yes.
But in this time, it's this generation, it's not, it's different. It's not acceptable.
No.
Even for our new generation, like my daughters or my nieces, they will never accept this, and they should never accept it.
Yes. Yes.
Because it's not right in either way.
Yes.
Well, we have a lot of things at stake. There's the issues of health. We have HIV. We have other STDs and all. And I suffered some. Yeah. And so some of these things, if we continue accepting it, people are hurting. And mental issues are getting on the increase. After my divorce, I went through a serious mental depression.
Talk to us about it. Like,
And,
you were at divorce, expected you to be super happy, so you went dancing for one night, but then after that, depression checked in.
Depression checked in because everybody looks at you and it's that thing of like,
Stigma.
you know, you walk anywhere, she is divorced. Weddings and all that. But then I stopped going to weddings and birthday parties because you go there to celebrate these people and they start talking you. And then everyone is like, oh, she's, you know. So I stopped. I didn't want that attention to be on me, and so I just stopped that. And I started drinking. And I drank.
Alcoholism checked in. You want something to numb the pain?
Yeah. I didn't have, but I lost friends. Like, people I thought I could confide in, suddenly they were either too busy, or I'll be doing this with the family this weekend, I can't meet you, or, you know, all sorts of reasons. So people got too busy, I lost friends, I lost even like the close confidence, and I only had my PhD and my beer, and then I went into whiskey. And wine was too light. I could take whiskey like crazy.
Like water.
Yes. And I reached that point of I could look at men. You know, a man comes and hits on me, and I'm looking at it like, I know what you want. Yeah, and I just look at you, and I just drink with you, and I just go. And you call a lot of times. I was like,
You ignore that.
why is he calling? It's because, I mean, he wants that.
Correct.
Yes, I started like just having a different cloud of a man. Then I think something happened.
Before you get to something happen, did you go through the same depressive state when you broke up?
Yes, well, but well, it wasn't all about drinking, but you know, just not wanting to be around people. Yeah, because the physical was a little bit too much. Yeah, so and then I hadn't told my parents, so I was just hiding away from everyone, from my mom, from my dad, my sisters. You know, I just didn't want. That was my mental issue.
So you secluded yourself from family and friends.
Yeah, just alone. Just to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like I told you before, I also used prayers to get out of.
Yes.
Because yes, I did love him. You know.
Yeah.
And it's just not in marriage. Also dating, you can really.
Of course, you can go in real deep. Yeah. So Chesna, when you listen to this girl who, so she secluded herself. She got into drinking and depression, of course, mental, and then you hear that. How is a woman supposed to lift themselves from that back to normal?
I think you need a very close person around you maybe your friend, your parents, your family, who can support you, who can give you that moral support. And the first thing someone should give you, that you are not at fault. You should not feel guilty, because you have not done anything wrong. The other person has done something wrong. So you should not feel yourself that, yeah, I'm bad, I'm divorced, or I'm not good, or society will not like me. And you should stand up for yourself. And I'm sure the people around you, and even at this point, I would point something about religion. Because, you know, if you have that faith in God, if you have, whether you go to church or mosque or temple or wherever, or whichever God you believe in, if you have that faith in the God, and if you can stand up in front of God and ask whether I have done anything wrong, no, and then God will automatically give you that strength, that courage, that yes, stand up for yourself, you have not done anything wrong, and then you will come out. And another thing is, like, as you have your hobby or your career which you are looking forward, the way you started looking after your PhD, so that diverted your mind from that bad part of your life. And now you are, I guess, more happier. I can see you more happy and
I know, right?
charming
You can't even
and
say she went through anything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
She's out of that.
Yeah. And you know, I'm always saying, even if you have done something wrong, because it's inevitable. In a relationship, there's no one who's perfect. But no one should lift up a finger against the other. Like, first, don't beat your girl just because she's the weaker sex. You know, like, I respect men who walk out. You know, those ones who say, let me go breathe and come back, as opposed to being beaten. Like, you can handle anything apart from the physical violence, but you not only handle the physical, but the psychological, the mental, the emotional. Like, you were beaten 360. Basically, that's what it was.
I think it's like every time we met, it was either physical or you know, emotional.
Yeah.
But what I know is that 3 months could not go by.
Eh?
For the time now, after he came back to the country in 2015, 3 months could not go by, and yet we were seeing each other every weekend. And when I talk about being beaten, I'm not talking about being slapped.
No.
You know, I'm talking about beating. Like, I have, when I was having my divorce case, I had to get, you know, evidence from the hospitals. There was Avenue Hospital, there's Nairobi Women's Hospital, and I had this laid there. It was almost impossible for any judge to make anything different. Because this is too much evidence.
Yes. I hear you. And then, so after the divorce, you got into a terrible depression. You became friends with the bottle. And many other things. And you know, that was a phase, because I always say divorce is like death. I mean,
divorce is death.
You're buried 30 feet under. And how did you find the strength to just start to find yourself again, to come back up?
I think what happened to me is I went for counseling. By the way, we had gone for counseling, marital counseling. So after this, I also decided to go for counseling at All Saints Cathedral. And after talking to this guy for about 3 different sessions, the guy said, that's not a marriage, and it's better I move out. And one thing that kept resonating is every religious person I went to for solace, hoping to hear something different, like stay in the marriage and all of them told me, leave. Even a Catholic priest, I went for confession. I don't know him today. I told him, I feel like killing somebody. He's reduced me to nothing, you know, and all. And that one I went on December 31st of 2012. The guy told me, leave that stupid man alone. God is going to bless you wherever you are and all. I don't know, you know, confession box is blinded. Then a year later, I go to All Saints, and this guy says, I think it's better you leave that guy alone. Another time again, I do Hope FM counselor calling. And I'm told the same thing, like leave. Because that same Bible that says marriage, divorce is wrong, that same Bible says, in case of infidelity, you are allowed to leave. I did not have one chance of infidelity. I had repeated. It's like the moment you find out this one, it is already over. Another one has been.
But then in you staying all those many times, because I think you gave Ricky a million chances.
I gave him.
At redemption.
I did.
And you know, it's one thing to give someone a chance. In a normal relationship, if you're fighting and then, okay, I'm sorry, it will happen again, and you fight again. In your case, there was a physical battle and a lot of other things in there, and you still gave him chances. First, I think you are super strong.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was then.
But then the second thing is, you had a job, meaning you could take care of yourself.
I could. All this time I could take care of myself in the marriage, but I couldn't leave because it was not an issue of job. We built the house, he did the structure, I did the finishings in the house, the tiles and wardrobes and all, because I wanted it to look nice. Yes, and I felt like, hey, let me chip in, because it's our house.
So, the fact that you were able, you could help yourself, like you could easily wake up and leave this house because you can take care of yourself. Like Shetna said, many women don't leave because of financial inability and stuff, but that was not you.
No, that was not.
So what kept you there? And don't tell me love.
No, I don't think it was love. At a certain point, after my son died, it was no longer an issue of love. It was an issue of trying to make it work. Yeah, because I didn't, by then that was the reason, because I fought with myself, I fought with these women, I mean on phone, of leave my husband alone.
You are brave. You talk to those mistreaters.
Yes. To be honest, there are some I did. There are some I could look at and say, this one is going nowhere. I had reached a point where I could say,
you could decode.
This one looks like a one-night stand. This one looks like she's very consistent. And you know, and things like that.
But why did you want to make it work with a man who didn't deserve it?
The thing is, by the it's not like I was calling the women like taking his phone. No. At that point of our marriage, I was no longer touching his phone. I had grown mature enough. It is the women who were calling me. It's like now, I was not having access to his phone, but these women were having access to his phone. And they could call me and abuse me and tell me I'm just his baby mama, or he says he doesn't love me. And, you know, and when he is traveling from Mombasa to Nairobi, I get a text telling me, oh, he's on his way.
So the third party was more.
So there was that third party, and I was like, this is too much. And I around July, August of 2012, I decided we are parting ways. I was married to Ricky Jasuba for 5 good years. He abused my soul from the very beginning, but I never blamed him nor left, because I thought all this obsession was a sign of love. I loved Ricky so much, I thought he was just jealous. Ricky beat me up so many times I lost count. So at last, when I decided to go pick my things in December of 2012, the anger that was building inside of me was so much I never wanted to see him again.